This the AMG way, we don't follow the crowd. Quiet money moves, we just say it out loud. Tax-free living, long plays over hype. Build it right once, let the legacy right. We talk ownership.
What's happening, everyone? Welcome to the AMG Podcast. We are here today, about to have a great time with a new friend from one of my favorite cities, across the street from Larry, up the street, up the highway, down in Austin, Texas. What's up, Larry? And what's going on, Miss Sue? How are you?
How are you guys doing? Doing great.
Oh, fantastic. Doing excellent, man. We were just chatting up a little bit ago. The rain is hitting Larry. Is it coming your way? Are you getting skilled yet?
No, it's cloudy, but so far nothing today.
Okay. Very cool. Well,
but
awesome.
every day the past week, so it's okay to have a little minute.
We got a little break today. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, today we're going to talk about some fun real estate conversation in the space that Sue is going to deliver. We're not going to spoil it all because she is the expert, not us. So we want to learn. We're here to learn. We're here to get some good information to be able to share with you all. First, before we dig in, Sue, can you kind of give us the highlight reel? Who is Sue? Where are you? What do you do? Kind of give us brag on yourself for a quick second, if you don't mind.
Sure. Grew up in Bowie, Maryland, but have been in Austin for the second half of my life. Do you know Bowie?
I do know Bowie. I lived in Maryland for 2 years.
Oh, that's crazy. Went to school at Towson State in Baltimore, but have been down here in Texas the second half of my life. And I've been in multifamily my entire career. I started out as a leasing agent and went through the ranks in property management, went to regional manager, and then got hired to essentially run an acquisition program. And then I got hired by TCR, Trammell Crow Residential, for asset management and some acquisition and for some military housing privatization. That's what got me with them originally, and was a partner with them for 20 years. And then I went on to do some consulting. Did that for 5 years. And then in February, I just took on a new position running asset management for Viking Capital. We have about 20 deals, mainly in Georgia and Texas. And that's it. Yeah, that's my highlight reel.
I love it. Now, so Viking Capital, that's where you are right now, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Give us a little bit, brag on Viking Capital real quick before we kind of dig into the weeds. Love to hear more about the business itself.
Mm-hmm. So Viking Capital is a privately owned company. It was founded by two cardiac surgeons, and they built up probably over the past 10 years a very healthy business. We've got 20 assets right now, and we're looking to expand and raise some investor capital from institutional investors. That's a program we just recently started. So if any institutional folks want to invest, we're working on that.
I would love to hear a story. So two surgeons, right? Started the business?
Yes. Yeah. And pardon?
That's interesting.
Yeah. Honestly, shame on me. I've only been here 6 months, so I'm not sure how they came into the business to begin with, but all of our equity to date is all family offices, kind of friends and family money. And so it's a very personal investment for all of our investors. Everybody knows each other, 7 degrees of separation kind of stuff.
No, I hear you. Very cool. Okay. All right. So we're going to start, zooming in a little bit, Sue. All right. So what does a typical day look like for you, for Sue? Yeah. What break that down, my sister.
So typically it's a lot of investor communications, wanting to know about the performance of the assets. Same thing with lenders. It's managing payments. It's interesting because it's hard to encapsulate. Every day something else comes up. It's okay. We just had a sewage leak, and we have to, 10 units were destroyed, and now we're doing remediation, and we have to fix it, and how are we paying for it? And it's, when are we going to sell an asset? Should we refinance an asset? So it's kind of a constant, it's a mix between evaluating what the overall strategy is for the asset, while also managing the day-to-day with the third-party management companies and everything that they need, and staffing and pricing of the units, and setting concessions, and making sure service requests are getting done on time. So even though we have third-party management companies that do that, the asset managers are responsible for kind of inspecting what we expect, as one of my old bosses used to say, and just making sure they're actually doing it. Reviewing financial reports and operational reports, and having weekly meetings and all of that.
So basically, you're saying that no day is the same. No day is the same.
Right. I think that's why people get in this business and they never leave, because after all this time, there's still stuff that happens that I'm like, well, I haven't seen that before. And you would think that wouldn't be possible, but it is.
But that's cool though about your business. Ours is very similar in that regard. No day is the same. I can see your excitement. It keeps you young though, right, Sue? It keeps you young.
I think so. Keeps my mind sharp. That's for sure. All I've been doing for the past 2 weeks is forecasting budgets, which I'm like, oh God, don't ask me any questions, because they've all merged into one now. I have to pull them up and answer them. I can't answer anything off the top of my head anymore. So. Oh
my goodness. Awesome. What you got, Woods?
So asset manager. Yeah, sounds very similar to project manager for a construction company. I've been in real estate for probably over 26 years in different facets, either selling it or building it. So I do understand being the octopus behind the scenes.
Exactly. In that sense, it's very similar. At TCR, we were just a development company. So all of our stuff was ground up. We didn't really buy anything existing like we do at Viking. So yes, it's so much like that.
So what major shifts are you seeing in your industry right now?
What I'm seeing is that during COVID, a lot of people made some very optimistic investment decisions around historical low interest rates, and just kind of assuming that wasn't going to change much. And what happened was, and this isn't just at Viking, was across my consulting business also, which is why people hired me, because they're like, oops, nothing's going right. Come in and fix my deal. And so much of it is capital stack. So what happened is, just as an example, there's an asset where, we got in, the interest rate was like 3.5%. And in 2 years it went to 8%. And that kills the deal.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you get, preferred equity that makes, that gets 8, and you're trying to pay them current. And then you're also trying to pay distributions, and you're trying to pay bills. And then, principal payments kick in. And so it's all a lot of capital stack problems that people are working through right now because of the whole 2020 thing. And it's true that the getting was good in 2020, because people were trying to get out of assets, but it just meant people, like, I know a company that bought a 40-year-old, 1970s deal for like a 4.5 cap. And for those that don't know, the lower the cap, the higher the price. And for something like a 70s era deal, it should have been like a 6. And so we'll never recoup that on the sale. So it's those types of things that it's just, kind of hope note when you buy, instead of really crunching those numbers to make sure you're covered down the line if something goes wrong. That's what I'm seeing a lot.
So we all lived through 2020, the pandemic, and we all watched, especially real estate prices, inflate to no one could predict what they have inflated to, especially the interest rates of trying to get in a house or a commercial property. So based on that, what changed in your growth strategy, your business plan, your forecasting?
Well, First of all, a lot of the forecasting now is around, can we even cover all these bad decisions that we made when we bought it? Can we generate enough cash flow to cover it all?
Yeah.
And so a lot of stuff that I've been doing, since I left TCR, just in general, it has been about, okay, do we need to ask for a deferral on our pref payment so that we can pay our bills and, just pay out the pref when we sell, for example? Or, what kind of rent growth do we expect? Should we get out of this deal now? Should we sell for a loss? Should we try and refi? So that's really, instead of kind of just maximizing rents, which in a growing economy, that's all you have to worry about doing. Keep concessions down and just keep maximizing rents, keep your expenses down, just asset management 101. But when you add in this additional layer of your capital stack sucks, then you have to take your eye off that a little bit and just figure out, okay, what do we need to do to fix the capital stack to even make it worth staying in?
That's tough, especially
a lot of pressure, guys.
Yeah.
Feel bad. I'm like, luckily I didn't create these problems. I'm just trying to help everybody fix them. But yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the better seat to be in, right?
Sure.
That's good.
So, and it also helps me inform our teams about how to buy assets going forward. Like, don't do this, don't do this. Like, I am very vocal about it now. What markets and where you should stretch for a price and where you shouldn't, and things like that.
So, as you're cleaning house, you're right, and making sense of the past.
Yes.
What would you say is working well? Obviously, there's systems, ideas, strategies that helps you say, you know what, this is going to help us really make sense of everything, or at least make progress. So that's kind of a twofold question. One, what's working well for you? And then two, what is something that may be even a little frustrating? Like, you know what, I wish this was better. We're making progress here and this is all good, but over here, we're really trying to find some improvement.
So progress has come from two places. One, the quality and commitment of the internal team, which at Viking is fantastic. That is really important, because you can't just throw asset management out and say good luck. You have to have investor relations people. You have to have leadership that's going to support you. You have to have sources of funding. And so the team, absolutely key and really important. Where frustrations come up is owners don't know what property management does, and they do not care until things go bad. And then they want to know what happened.
Interesting. I love how you put that.
So they have no idea. Literally, that is my biggest frustration. And then they come to me and say, I don't understand this. Explain it to me. And I'm like, you get weekly reports. We have weekly calls you can jump on. I do quarterly investment reports. We have a monthly financial package. How about you read those and let me know if you have questions? I do say that.
Do we need our heart in the paint intro?
Right, exactly.
Making money. I'm not your kindergarten teacher. So that is the biggest frustration that I have is, guys, I call it reinventing the wheel when you don't know what a wheel is. That's what they're trying to do. So
Sue's bringing the heat.
That's my biggest frustration. Yeah, because it is very time consuming to evaluate assets and bring them forward, much less understand what happens before I get on an asset.
Sure.
And so there's a lot of forensic analysis around, okay, before I fund this deal, have you looked at every invoice and confirmed that it's correct?
Yeah.
No, because the property management company already did that, and we should be paying our vendors. Like we shouldn't spend 2 weeks talking about verification. That's already handled. So it's that kind of stuff that just slows things down. Yeah. If you hire an expert, rely on your expert in your organization. So that's where the biggest frustration comes from.
And this is one of the many reasons I'm sure Sue is in the position she's in.
Absolutely.
For better or worse, everybody knows where I stand, guys. I'm not a very mysterious person.
I love that. Sue's in or out. There's no in between.
Right.
I love it.
Well,
I love it.
Is the investors flying at a 60,000 foot view and never been in the weeds? You think that contributes to it?
Yeah, and they don't know why distributions stop. Like all of a sudden we'll stop distributions and, maybe it's from mismanagement, or maybe it's just, they're not reading the reports that they're getting. And when they finally do, or they get wind from another investor, they start, whoa, what happened? And so, and I get it. I mean, I'm not managing my personal portfolio on a daily basis. I just want my guy to tell me what happened if something goes wrong. So I understand that, but it's just, it's a lot of nuanced conversations. And I'm a big proponent of just being transparent, because people know when you're trying to not quite tell them the whole truth. You just got to tell them everything. So they have all the same tools that you do. Big believer in that.
Miss Sue, you are right on with AMG.
You are that. And it's okay to take the filter off, Sue. Okay.
Yeah, you can take the filter off. That's fine. Yes. That's fine.
I know. Okay, I'll try and let loose now.
So in light of improving, right?
Yeah.
What are the metrics in your world that you guys use to quantify improvement? Like, what metrics are you using?
Yeah, there's a lot of KPIs. So just on our weekly calls, for example, with property management, here's what we go through. We go through economic occupancy and occupancy. Economic occupancy is driven by, it's reduced by concessions, vacancy, bad debt, and loss to lease, which our industry, like most of the guys, don't know what loss to lease means. And what that is the difference between what you're charging a new customer coming in and what the people who are on older leases that have a gap.
Yep.
That gap is what loss to lease is.
Loss to leases,
so as they renew or move out, you close that gap. But so that's what economic occupancy is. So we do that. We look at all of our rents and concessions as they relate to the competition. We look at what our delinquency is. We look at if bills are paying up, accounts payable. We look at what our marketing strategy is. We delve into that quite a bit. Digital marketing is a black box for a lot of people. And so really understanding that and getting into the nitty gritty of that is something I'm a big proponent of. Even the management companies don't really understand it. They parse it out to third parties and then can't explain it. And so I'm a thorn in everybody's side about that. And then So all of these things are things we look at on a weekly basis. And then as the month's accounting closes, then we start going in and saying, okay, where did you guys overspend? Why didn't you tell us about this? Expenditures without approval or unexpected ones are the quickest way for an asset to decline, because I'm making projections every month. And if I'm not being told what's coming, then everything I'm saying is wrong. So that communication is really important. So that's another indicator is that type of transparency on that side as well. Yeah.
Man, I tell you, I would not want to be on the receiving end of the phone. If something's not lining up and Sue has to call your boy, I'm a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie.
I used to be a lot meaner than I am now. Now I'm more like, listen, they haven't been here as long as me. I need to be kinder. I'll give them at least one chance before I really break.
Oh man. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Are you a redhead? Is that correct? Is that what I'm seeing? You're a redhead?
Well, this lighting isn't great. I'm more like brownish blonde, but
it looks a little red. So I was wondering if that was part of the the fire that comes. Okay.
No, cool. I'm French and British. I don't have any Irish in me.
Okay. All right. You got wood.
Well, being the force multiplier that you are, whether it's personal or professionally, where do you see yourself 6 to 12 months from now?
Oh, good. Yeah.
I see myself just in a more stabilized place, because just 2 weeks ago, we transitioned the entire portfolio from one management company to 5. And that was a 2-month process. And so we have all new management companies in place now that are going to be responsible for getting a lot of the assets kind of back on track, get a fresh look, new energy on the assets. And so that's been a lot of chaos around that. And when I came in, just kind of finding things on the properties that had not been previously communicated to ownership. So literally, I am the bearer of bad news on a regular basis, or have been up until a couple of months ago. Okay. And so that part has not been fun. So I'm just looking forward to having fun again. I think in the next 6 to 12 months, I'm fully staffed. There's a great team in place. I'm building a lot of great relationships with our lenders and equity partners, which is super important should anything ever go wrong down the line. And so I think it's stability and fun is what I'm looking forward to in the next 12 months.
That's awesome.
Or 6.
I like that.
6.
Yeah, I like that. Stability and fun. We get to a point where we have put all the hard work in. We should expect some stability.
Yep.
Make the day-to-day
so
go
speaking
easier.
Of which, I'll just, not that you're asking, but there's something that I've developed in as I've aged. And I think everybody gets to this point, really, because you get to a point where you're like, nothing is worth my peace. And so I've come to the point where, like, I close my computer by 6 or 7 every night without fail, and I don't care what's going on. Like, I'm just not going to work that late anymore. I'm not going to work 80 hours a week. End of story, period. 50 is my limit. I'm not doing it. This is not my company. You're paying for my skill set, not my assets. I'm doing my best for my salary, but I'm not going to give up, my personal life for any company. So that's where I get to the fun part. Like, I need to start having some fun or changes will be made.
Yes. And it's a shame that I'll say a shame, but when we hit that certain age, whatever it is different for certain people. To me, it was when I hit 40, it was lights out at a certain time. It's laptop closed at a certain time. I don't care what happens. Yes, you are exactly right.
So
because you realize after grinding till 8 o'clock every night when you're in your 30s, what did it get you?
Yeah, right.
The same outcome you're going to have the next
what
morning.
What is your ROI on that? Like,
wow.
I mean, for me, I got, obviously I made a lot of career progress in my 30s. I think that's kind of where everybody really gets their most leverage. But then after that, I reached a certain point. I'm kind of not at the top. I never wanted to be the CEO. That's too much for me. I don't want to be that. Never have. But I'm at the top of where I want to be. So then I just start whittling away about how I want to do that and how I want to spend that time. Yeah.
So I need to get a voice. I need to get a voice recording, Sue, of your voice. And it says this: Mondo, it's 6 o'clock. Stop working.
We both need that now. It just sneaked up on us. I said what I said when I hit 40, but in this position, it just sneaks up on you, Sue. It does. Maybe I need to start setting alarms.
Well, listen, I have a partner who lives in Omaha, and I just got back from being 2 months in Omaha. But when I was there, he would get home between 6 and 7. And after I was there 2 weeks, he's like, your job has changed our relationship. I'm paraphrasing and shortening.
Yeah, sure. Right.
And he's like, I don't have your attention. You don't look up when I'm talking. I'm like, I'm on my computer. You're kind of, obviously I'm doing something, but that wasn't the right answer, guys.
No.
So he's like, yeah, that's not great. So then I realized there is no way I'm sacrificing my relationship for this job. So that's what started the whole thing. So when I'm there and he comes home, I'm just like, peace out, I'm done. And so now I'm home and I'm still doing it to make sure that I just keep me true to myself on that.
That is awesome.
Work-life balance is important.
It really is.
This is so good. I mean, this is not even just about you, Sue, or just the job itself or Viking, or you're giving people in any industry just some little nuggets on how to function, like boundaries.
Yes. I mean, I shouldn't go down this line, but I've really had a kind of a pivot on just capitalism in general because of how much I've benefited from capitalism, big fan, but at some point, I'm people need a living wage. you need to pay people. You shouldn't be getting rich off of the backs of your workers kind of stuff. So there, I believe in a lot of balance there, not just in my personal life. And so, I just don't think that anyone should expect that because you make six figures, that means that company owns you. That company only owns six figures a year. And that is directly related to the value your skill set is bringing. It's not the amount of hours. That's what people need to get over. It has nothing to do with the hours. It is about the skill set and the value that you're bringing to whatever job that you're doing. That's the paradigm I think that we need to see shift.
So interesting.
Well said. Well said.
Especially
since the shift in prices since the pandemic.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Right. People making the same wages in 2020. What are they really affording
crazy.
in 2026?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially on rent.
Especially on rent.
I know. And that's the other thing too, is, when we hit the pandemic, multifamily real estate was in pretty damn good shape. And, the rent growth was good and all of that. And then the pandemic hit. And now you also have in some markets, we've only been affected on one asset, but in a lot of markets, ICE has cleared out apartment communities. So you have those, not the A+ luxury deals downtown, but the places in the burbs where people actually live. That's happened. And so that when a couple of assets have to lower rates, that brings down the entire submarket because people start price buying. And then you have to explain to your investors, no, this is not the property having a problem. It's the market is declining because people can't afford to live anywhere. And as such, you're having to buy, we call it buying occupancy with concessions or lower rents.
Right.
It's so interesting. Even in my area, Larry and I had talked about this recently. There's, about 3 or 4 pretty decent apartment complexes around. And the price points we're noticing are being split between 2 people, like roommates. People are going in and trying to survive on being roommates versus going in, I'm going to get my apartment, go to my job, start a family, get a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, and then move on to whatever. No, you're getting 2 buddies. You're getting 2 girlfriends, because it's such a high price point, but the wages are the same. How is that? I mean, you kind of got into it a little bit, but that's a rabbit hole in itself on the fact that it's cheaper to buy a house.
Well, what's interesting is I did some research a while back. It's outdated right now, but I'm big into, I make data-driven decisions. So I like to look at a lot of resident surveys. TCR had our own proprietary resident survey that wasn't about, did you get your maintenance request done on time? That's property management. What we were looking at is, what do you value in the asset? What do you like about your apartment and things like that? And so I started looking at, the latest in industry surveys, and it said that Gen Z really prefers to live in the suburbs, renting single family homes with their friends, not going into the city, and renting expensive apartments. So that is, we call it BTR, build to rent. And what that means is somebody goes and builds a bunch of single family homes for rental. And in the past few years, you saw that industry explode because that's where all of the investment money was going. And now they are trash. It's very hard to get those deals occupied. It's very hard to get them, get good rents on them. And I think it's in great part to people in houses. They rent their houses out. They compete with those, and you can get, a house in a HOA community with maybe a pool in the backyard and a yard for your dog for less than you can at some of these BTR communities. So it's just so many factors to consider.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So we've listed a lot of challenges today. Within the past 5 minutes. If you could solve one major challenge, what would it be? And again, this can be personal or professional.
My life is really good, you guys. I don't have personal challenges right
I
now. I'm
love
knocking
to
on
hear.
I
Love to
literally
hear
don't.
that.
I love to hear
And
that.
every time I get stressed out, I'm like, shut up. You have nothing to complain about. Like, literally calm down. But I think, professionally, and this is just because it's fresh from the past, I would say, 6 years since COVID hit,
Okay.
is I would just like people to kind of plan for the worst as best they can. I would like to see, investment capital be a little bit more realistic on returns. And of course, this all goes to Fed rates. Like, everything is intertwined. Like, if interest rates are 7%, then people's returns have to be 13%. And you're just not going to see that a lot of times on these deals that are stable. And so, I just like to see, this is a real fantasy statement, just a reset on how returns are evaluated and how money is invested in deals. So you don't have these crisis moments, every time there's a flux in the cycle, because the cycle is going to come. If you buy at the top, you better be ready, because within 5 years, you're probably going to be back at the bottom. Now, unfortunately, when Obama was in office and we had, and Trump for his first term, zero interest for like 12 years, everybody gets really overconfident with that. And it's just a bad business. Like, there's no chance that that's going to continue. And if that's how you invest, you're just going to get in trouble. So that's what I would want to see shift, is how people look at investments long term like that for real estate.
This is good.
Not sexy, but
well, no,
but it's transparent. It's the truth.
Transparent. Yeah. Exactly right. Exactly right. So what does it look like? Let's fast forward. You have this beautiful career. You're doing your thing. What does it look like in the golden years for Sue? What does that look like? What are you planning on doing? When are you thinking about?
I already know.
Okay, holla at me. What you got?
I'm a big traveler, and one of the things that I really enjoyed in my 5 years of consulting is I just told my clients I was going to be gone for 2 weeks. Like, there was no, and I do that at Viking. I mean, I just say, I haven't said it yet because I've only been here 6 months, but there's no like big hoops to jump through. But I would go on 2 trips a year with my partner out of the country, and I love traveling, and people talk about loving to travel, but it's so interesting to get out of this country and go where people have existed for a millennia longer than us.
Yeah.
We are the youngest, country on the planet by thousands of years.
Yeah.
And I just love going other places to not only see how things look, but just how people interact and live. And I'm very grateful that my partner travels like me. Like, we're not a itinerary every day, moment to moment. We're like, okay, on this day we have one appointment. On this day we have, one excursion. And the rest of the time we wake up and pretend like we live in the town. And it's just that's what I'm going to do when I'm done here, is I'm just going to travel and do road trips and, cancel all of my subscriptions and live more like my daughter, who, by the way, is like almost completely analog. Like, she's Gen Z. Like, she's like not on social media except to promote, projects that she's doing. And, she doesn't have any streaming subscriptions. And
that's awesome.
I have a confession.
That's what I want to do when I retire.
I have a confession. So when doing a little research on Sue, I went to Sue's social media page. Okay. And let me tell you, Sue is already the traveler.
Oh, I got to do it now. I got to go on her page now.
I found myself staying on there a little longer than expected, Sue. I have to be honest, because you've been to some awesome places, and I like art. I like old art, old buildings. I love that architect, because that stuff was handmade, not in a factory. It is absolutely wonderful to see.
Yes. It's really astounding. Like, my favorite places are Rome and Pompeii. And I've been to Pompeii 3 times. Nobody will stay there as long as I want to, because I could stay there literally all day. It's like walking through a ghost town. What they've done there is astounding. And they've only got 2/3 of the city uncovered, but it's like time travel. It's insane. Anyway, yeah. And we just went to Tokyo in September. Yeah, we've been all over, but lots of more places on our bucket list. Yeah. And my boyfriend's from Turkey, so that's on our list.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if you had anything you could offer to the young business person in the industry as a whole, maybe even what you do, if you could give a piece of advice to someone as far as, how to get into it, the motivation, the determination, how to stick at it if they're in it and not give up, like what kind of advice do you find yourself giving to the young person in your field?
So I'll start out with general, but then I'm going to get women specific.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
Yes. It's different. So in general, I think that where a lot of people struggle is when they make a proposal like to upper management, because they see where improvement can be made. They don't do any return on investment. They don't do that calculation. So for example, they'll say, and I see this a lot in the industry around like marketing costs, like we need to up our marketing costs. Okay, well, what is that going to get me if I go from $3,000 a month to $6,000 a month? Okay, well, it's going to get you more traffic. Okay, but does it get me more leases? And if it gets me more leases, how much do each of those leases cost compared to what other sources cost? So there's not a whole lot of talk about, and I see this, oh my gosh, everybody wants to hire influencers, right, to come and advertise your property. And absolutely not do I do that. And and it's because you're just one, like, oh yeah, you're one video on their 1,000 videos, and maybe they have 25,000 followers, and sure, maybe you'll get a couple of pieces of traffic off of that, but it costs like $7,500, right. And that's a lot. Yeah. And so I think that what a lot of young people make the mistake of is thinking that their creative idea is enough without understanding how the cost of that driving business and what the owner's going to get from it.
Yeah.
And it can't be theoretical and it can't be subjective. It has to be objective, black and white.
And the follow through is important. We've dealt with that to a degree as well. Well, it's like, we need to do this. Okay, to your point, are there more sentences here? I'm waiting on it. Like,
yes.
Why do we need to do that? Because it's what we should do. Why? I'm that kid. I'm that little kid. Sue, why? Yeah. Well, why? Well, why? You know what I mean? Because there's
and if the person gets the idea can't articulate it, nobody's going to solve it for them.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. Okay, go ahead.
The other big one for everyone is you're not getting promoted unless you ask to be promoted. Like, stop sitting around thinking that you're a shining star that nobody can help but see, and they're just going to come and shower you with a promotion. I've never seen that happen. Yeah. Got to ask for it. You got to say, I'm hungry for it. You got to say, I want to move forward. And then you got to ask your supervisor, give me a list of things that I need to do or skills that I need to achieve in order to get there, and then do it. And then you go back and hold those supervisors accountable. But there's a lot of entitlement around promotions, and there's a lot of overconfidence in what people think they bring to the organization. If they would just ask, what am I missing? They would probably get a lot of good feedback about what they're missing and why they're not getting there.
Oh, what's that word? So, that word is humility.
It's really important to have conversations.
Yes. Humility.
Yeah, humility, but also initiative. Like I used to always say, like, I've told countless people, they're like, I want to get promoted. What do I need to do? And I'm like, do things before I tell you to do it. You've been in this job for 5 years. Why do you keep coming to me, asking me what you're supposed to do? Go do it.
Yes.
And then, make my life easier. Unfortunately, again, this all goes back to why you make money. You're getting paid to do a job. This is such a Mad Men thing to say. Like, I'm not going to give you praise I'm paying you to do the job, which is why I also think you shouldn't make people work overtime, because they're there to do a specific job for a specific amount of money, hold them accountable for that. So I think that you just need to understand praise is your paycheck. And if you want more paycheck, make your boss's life easier. That's the name of the game. Make more money for the company. That's it. Make your boss's life easier, or make more money for the company. If you don't do one of those two things, you're not getting anywhere. Period.
Oh man, so, I can see
everybody,
because you were a consultant. You said before, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, I can see that all day. A CEO. Hey Sue, we need you to come in here and figure out what's going on and make it right. Oh, back it up, guys. Here she comes. She's gonna get you right. I love it.
Yeah, well, and before I even came in to Viking, and they told me that there were assets that were in trouble. I'm like, well, are you funding? Because if you're not funding, there is nothing I can do to help you. I can't fix a deal that doesn't have money to pay the bills. So yes or no. And so I'm here. So obviously that worked out. But I wouldn't take a job if people didn't have money to pay their bills.
No, I hear that.
That makes sense.
Because at some point, they're gonna have money to pay you. So there you go.
Yeah, exactly. But I have girl-only advice, real quick.
That's why I wanted to get to that. That's what I was trying to get to. Yeah, go ahead.
I thought it was unisex at first, but go ahead.
The other two were unisex.
Okay.
This one is, I'll tell you a story. I had been promoted twice within my organization before I went on with TCR. And there were two women. One ran HR and one was running the corporate leasing arm of the company. And they took me to lunch and they're like, how do you keep getting promoted? How does everything keep coming your way? How do you do this? What's the secret? And I said, I say yes and you say no. And women have a tendency to think or to want to know the entire job and understand it before they take it. And men are like, I'll figure it out.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Across the board.
Right.
And women can figure it out too. Women are great managers and we're great analysts in general, but we're cowards. And so that is the single biggest thing that I will say to women. Just say yes. What is the worst thing that can happen? Go after what you want, get it, and then just figure it out. Because I can tell you, I remember my daughter did an internship with TCR for 3 months. And when she was done with it, the biggest takeaway that she had was, these are just normal people. I'm like, exactly. Even the guys who are running multi-million-dollar companies, they're not gods. They are just normal guys who get good people under them, follow their hunches, and that is all, period. They're not geniuses. Nobody's really a genius in business. And half of these people that I run into are Peter principled, way above what they should be doing. So nobody should be afraid to just go for it. Because the worst thing that can happen is you're going to be stuck as high as you're ever going to go. Great outcome, So,
it's nothing to say, Woods. I'm not going to say anything after that.
I was going to, but
yep, it's nothing to say. So this is such good information. I love your transparency. Thank you for offering that today.
I love talking about works. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Tell us where people can find you on LinkedIn or any social media platforms, because I'm sure someone's going to want to hit you up. So where can we find you?
Absolutely. So I'm Susan D. Vickery on LinkedIn. And I think I'm just Sue Vickery on Facebook. And then my Instagram account is Kit15, KITT15.
Okay. Kit15. All right. Yes. Love it. This has been awesome.
Yeah. Check me out.
This has been awesome. Yeah. So with that said, hey, if anybody wants to hit up Sue, definitely do that. So we will put everything in the description as well, so people can find you and hit you up and ask questions. I definitely want to empower the ladies to do so. I think if I was a woman, take advantage of wisdom right here.
I'll help you ladies any way I can. I'll help anybody really, but yeah. I got lots of words for the ladies because the development industry is very male dominated, and I still survive. So
yeah, we've heard that before, Woods, in a previous podcast.
Yes, we have.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
Young lady in California told us the same thing. So yeah, absolutely. Yep. With that said, hey, thank you again, Sue. Appreciate your time, my friend. Great to meet you. Hey, Larry, another good one in the bag, buddy.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yes,
thank
indeed.
You both.
Absolutely. Hey, join us next time on the AMG Pod. We'll have another guest from the real estate industry, sharing some goodies, some knowledge, and empowering people with knowledge. You guys have a good one. We will see you on the next episode. See you guys.
This the AMG way, we don't follow the crowd. Quiet money moves, we just say it out loud. Tax-free living, long plays over hype. Build it right once, let the legacy write. We talk ownership.